And I would like to share a short recent experience of mine. What I mean, if we're not talking a solvable problem, but if we're talking a predicament. And predicament is building, as long as we're solution focused, even facing predicaments, the question is, how do we build, co-construct solutions when the problem cannot be solved? And that's a presupposition for today. And I've said it's experimental, and it's a presupposition, so it is by nature hypothetical. And I'd like to start by giving you a short example, not in the context, for now, not in the context of the earthing collapse, but in a much more small-scale, concrete case example that I've experienced last year. And I spent a lot of time lately training and then also working as a palliative care professional. So palliative care, and you can immediately translate it into our global and into our global climate and biosphere context. Palliative care is the moment when doctors say, we cannot save it. We cannot save the person. So we switch from trying to solve it to make it healthy again. When they switch from that to being present with the dying person, given a lethal diagnosis, and they switch their focus of attention from trying to solve to doing everything to accept, to help, support, accepting the predicament, and creating the most quality possible within that predicament. So when it comes to individual people, it's called palliative care. When it comes to this, the global situation that we are in, for now, let's all pretend that it's a presupposition. So no doctor has said yet that, yes, this is the end and there's no way around it, and let's start to deal with it in a different way. The example that I'd like to give you is about a young couple who expected their first baby. And about 3 or 4 months before the baby was due, the doctors told the couple that the baby has a medical condition and that it will die either shortly before or during the birth or shortly after. And now the whole perspective changes. And so I've had several conversations with a couple, many conversations. And one of the transition that they had to deal with and fight for was the transition that whenever they talk to, I don't know, gynecologists or hospitals who were willing to help with the birth process, they had to convince them that they as parents were very much aware that their time with the baby was going to be limited. And I was very impressed by the parents, how, yes, I mean, it's painful. It's the last thing that you want to happen. And I was so impressed how quickly they changed from a, we need this to solve this, we need to make, you know, a miracle needs to happen, to, okay, we are willing and caring so much for this newborn creature, not yet born creature, that we say, and as parents, we want to pledge that we want to accept the baby exactly as it is, even with its fate of dying shortly before or during or shortly after the birth. Please don't take us out of that for so-called security and saving or life prolonging measures. Please leave us the peace and quiet. So two things that these parents accessed in themselves in a very remarkable way is the one, the ability to let go of hope and expectations, and instead, it's not only acceptance that they showed, it's more than acceptance. It's love for the baby the way it is and the way things are going to happen. And I was quickly talking about palliative care, which is care in acceptance of what is happening. So that's the metaphor that I wanted to share for as my reason of why to offer a workshop by this title. Why to offer a workshop by the title, suppose. Suppose there is no miracle happening. Suppose it is not anymore in our power to change what is happening with the living earth that we are part of, that supports us. Suppose it is already in process of irreversible collapse. And for the premise of our workshop, I'd like to repeat, whenever we make a presupposition, so if we make the presupposition, suppose a miracle happened and you wake up the next morning, it's a hypothetical presupposition. So I would like to ask us for the rest of the hour that we have together to stay with the hypotheticalness of this presupposition that it is too late. And I would like to invite us to explore, holding the bravery, the acceptance of those parents in front of our eyes, and explore for ourselves if we were to encounter the uncertainty. Will the world collapse? Will inevitably happen the mass extinction or not? And give us 1 hour to connect to how would we like to be present if that's what's going to happen, and there's no way for us to predict it. So suppose it is too late. Suppose we cannot change it. Suppose the world is going to collapse as we know it. Suppose the mass extinction is already irreversible. Hypothetically, give yourself the possibility to think loud with some colleagues. How might I then want to be present differently as part of this living earth? How will it change the way I am present with myself? How does it change the way I am present with others? how does it change my presence with the still living earth, my gratitude, my awareness of its beauty, my awareness of it's not guaranteed to be with us forever.